Hey guys, Dr. J. Jason Lipoff, your Team Beachbody coach. This is the first of a series of 3 videos that I am going to talk to you guys about strict productivity on how to get ahead in your Team Beachbody business. This actually could relate to really any small business or anything that you're starting. The first issue that I'm going to talk about is how to be a workhorse and not an askhorse. And that's ASK. Specifically with Team Beachbody. I'm going to compare this to a job that you are, let's say you start working for Hewlett-Packard. And you have a training process, so you've got this training manual and you've got all these things you've got to study and you've got to know, and there's classes and they teach you how to do it. You're going to have questions, you'll have study sessions, but you've got to know the stuff. I mean, there comes a point where you've got to study it, you just have to know it, so you have to put the time in, put the work in. And for what you don't understand, you're going to go ahead and you're going to seek out help. You're going to talk to people that, that already know exactly what certain things mean. Let's say you have an open book test in college, and chapter 5, let's say it's a U.S. history book, and chapter 5 is talking about, the War of 1812, and you ask the teacher a question about that. Well, they could either answer that, or they could say, that can be found in chapter 5. The actual act of going to chapter 5 and seeking it out, you're actually learning so many different things along the way that are so beneficial, including going the wrong way and looking in the wrong chapter and looking in the wrong book and talking to the wrong person. If you ask somebody that you know that knows it, you really don't learn anything. You just have information. And in order to be a successful Team Beachbody coach, a successful challenger, and really productive and really fulfilled and successful in life and how you process events, it is important that you understand that seeking out information is so important, and the journey along the way. So you want to be a workhorse instead of an askhorse. We know that when you become a Team Beachbody coach, okay, so let's say I just start, okay, I'm like, great, all right, I'm a challenger, and I want to be a coach. Why do I want to be a coach? Because, I want to help other people along the way. I got great results, or I just started and I just love this community and I see that health in America is declining and this is great, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some of my close friends because this is just an awesome opportunity for people to really elevate their lives. Awesome, right? Okay, so so what's your next step? Well, you get paperwork and you talk to your sponsor, your coach, and you find out, well, what do? How do I sign up people? How do I make money? How do I put people in challenge groups? You've got all this information. Guess what? It's all in the Coach Online office. All of it. All the basic information. So you've got the compensation plan. You've got the basics on how to invite, although there's different ways on how to invite. You've got basics of the policies and procedures of exactly what are the ranks and how do you advance in rank and how do you make money in cycle bonuses. How do you sign people up? How do you start your website? And how do you send people to your links? How do you sign somebody up on your Coach mobile app on your phone? These are all things that Brooke and I, we actually did ourselves. We seek the answers out ourselves. I don't remember ever asking a coach on where to find it because we knew it was all there. We just had to put the work in. We actually had to look over and over again at where it was. And eventually, if we couldn't find it, we'd probably call Coach Relations or we would get on live chat and see if we had the answer. If we didn't, then we would go and we would go into the Team Next Level coaches or Team RIP coaches and ask questions, and then 1 million people would respond. The answers are there. Now this is all between our full-time jobs, my surgery schedule, this and that. I mean, I knew that this is like this new exciting journey, and I was gonna be a workhorse. So I was not asking anybody in particular. I was seeking it out. All the basic information in the 7-day quick start and finding out what the 3 vital behaviors are. The 3 vital behaviors, you look at the Coach Online office, it's all there. So if you find yourself asking somebody, I don't understand, how do I navigate around that? You're wrong. You are wrong, okay? You are just like all the other thousands of coaches that are just kind of teetering and just like, how do I find this information, this and that? You guys are not idiots, okay? If you did this in your regular job, you know, you would probably be fired eventually because you have to develop a sense of autonomy. Get that fire in you. Get that spirit in you. That's what you need because you guys all have it in you. But if you think of it as a hobby, then it would make sense that you ask other people, like, well, how do you do this? Okay, well, where do I find this? If you've never been told, that's one thing. But as soon as you've been told that all the basics are somewhere, then you need to seek it out. Why? Because you're treating this like a business and not a hobby. When you do that, then this is your business. You are the CEO of your own company, okay? That means that no one else is in charge of your success or failure except you. So you need to make a decision. For you coaches that are still saying to yourself, I'm busy, the time isn't right, I just don't know when I'm gonna have the time, I'm busy with my kids and you don't understand, and work, etc., blah, 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 okay? When you make the decision, it doesn't make a difference. You wake up earlier, you stay awake later, it doesn't make a difference. If you find that you cannot find the time, then you accept in your mind that you are a part-time coach or that you are somebody that is really mentally not ready. But don't recite excuses in your head because then they become real. So there's a huge difference in how you really become a workhorse and want to be a workhorse instead of an askhorse. If you aren't ready, then you're not ready, and that's totally respectable. You've got, like I said, you've got kids, work, etc. And if that's a higher priority, that is totally fine. But when you say to yourself, okay, I want to do this, but I have all these other things to do, and those are higher priorities, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So I'm not telling you that you need to make it a higher priority. But if you say you want to make it a business, then you have to make it a higher priority. Otherwise, you will never succeed. So you have to make that decision. Now, if you find a way to make it a higher priority, this does become the best thing you've ever done in your life because it will give you a complete idea of what it's like to live your life by design. You become healthier and happier every single week, every single month. You become a stronger person, you become more personally developed, you become happier, become more fulfilled, you help other people, you're a better example for your children, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. But you have to be ready. And once you make that step, you need to be a workhorse and not an askhorse. And if you find yourself asking the questions, know that all the basic things are right there. Now the next step is how do you, now that you say, okay, I'm a workhorse, well then how do you actually get to work? The basic part is looking at the Coach Online office and all those basics. I mean, that's the basic thing. So now you know what does it mean to get to Emerald and what does it mean to, how do you set up a challenge group and how do you sign people up? Okay, well then now, how do you get going? And so that's what I'm gonna talk about in the second video. Once you know you're a workhorse, what do you do next? So stay tuned.